Years of celebrating our Men of the Year, after all those years, we continue to showcase the amazing men of Latin. This year's selection, in my opinion, will go down as one of the best. I know that Terry already mentioned members of the Merit Award Committee, but I just want to say those who participated this year: Tom Ashdown, Nick Restivo, Chip Tighe, Dan Hespin, Chris Lynch, Terry Roncalli, and Joe Nista. And thank you to all those that did all this work. And just so you know, we came to consensus. We didn't have to take a vote. Everybody was in agreement on our 2 Men of the Year. So we're going to start first with the person who traveled the furthest. That sounds fair, doesn't it?
Sure.
Johnny Britt, class of 75. I'm just going to mention a little bit of his bio. You can read it, you may have already read it. Johnny possesses an incredible skill set, which encompasses singing, trumpet playing, songwriting, producing, and hosting radio shows and podcasts. He studied at the, let me try this, Conservatoire de Versailles in Paris. Did I say that right?
Conservatoire de Versailles.
Close enough. He was a musical director for the Temptations.
Yeah.
He is associated with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted group Little Anthony and the Imperials. In 2023, his single, After We Play, I was listening to it last night, was #1 on the Billboard charts. He has written award-winning songs for renowned artist Boney James. You can hear Johnny's albums on Spotify, Apple Music, and many of these other platforms. I encourage you, if you haven't, to listen to some of these albums. The music is fantastic. And you've heard some of it at our 100-year celebration. Last year, Johnny was awarded the United States Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. The same year, he was crowned the Indie Soul Artist of the Year. He has received numerous other awards and recognition. Terry, where's the plaque? Where? Oh, it's right in front of me. All right, hold on. I'm going to read the plaque, hand it to Johnny. Come on up, Johnny. And then now, come on up. Johnny R. Britt, graduate of Cathedral Latin School, class of 1975. In recognition of his exceptional achievement in the arts, songwriting, singing, trumpet playing, producing, authoring, and conducting, for his pivotal role in reshaping the sound and direction of the Temptations, for his vision and talent to redefine contemporary jazz, for his passion to impact and inspire future aspiring artists and music enthusiasts, an appreciation as a powerhouse in the music industry, for his commitment to his family and for his service to the community, in the tradition of Cathedral Latin School, to serve in deed and truth. Congratulations, Johnny Britt.
Thank you so much. This is indeed an honor to be standing here. First, I'd like to start off by thanking my mother, Marie. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for her. She She was the reason that I attended Latin, and you hear the story in my speech. I'd like to thank Dad, Alexander Nadall, who helped provide this fine education at Latin for me, my mother. I'd like to thank my nieces and nephews that came to see Uncle Johnny from out of town. Tammy came from Barbados. Twania, thank you. Marilyn. Sharon, Ladon, Michael. I love you all. To my sisters, Donna was with us, my sister Edna is in France, and my sisters Eleanor, Nellie. Also, my sisters Angela, Deborah, and Carol. Also, I'd like to thank my friends. I wouldn't be here without really good friends. My childhood friend was always there, Willie McAllister. He's been with me since I was 7 years old. My cousins, it's been fantastic. My children, Joshua Britt, who is my son, who is back in Los Angeles right now, finishing the last mix of my brand new album, 2025 album, which is called Midnight in Paris. You'll be hearing it's coming out Thanksgiving. Thank you, Joshua. And my daughter, Marie Britt, she's Daddy's little girl, and just thinks the world of me, and they just give me so much encouragement. But last but not least, I really want to thank my wife of 38 years who came out here with me today from Los Angeles. Marie Britt Nadall. The best decision I ever made was to marry Arlene.
Yes, that's right. I agree.
Yeah, I met her and fell in love immediately, and we got married. I started playing trumpet in the 6th grade at Cranwood Elementary School. And when I got to the 6th grade, they started a music program. And the first music teacher's name was Miss White. And she had this piece of paper and she passed it out to the kids and like, okay kids, choose an instrument to play. And when it came to me, I looked at the piece of paper and I saw the trombone, and it was like, I said, this is kind of weird. I don't know if I could figure that one out. And then I looked at the clarinet and I said, there's too many buttons. I don't figure that one. But when I saw the trumpet, it had 3 valves. And I said, that's the one, that's the instrument for me. And I thought it was going to be the easiest instrument, but it's actually the hardest instrument to play. I went to 7th grade at Robert H. Jameson in Cleveland, and I became the first trumpet player after the 2nd year of playing trumpet. And I had a lot of confidence, and I met in the orchestra there a little chubby guy. His name is Arsenio Hall, and he was playing percussion. Yeah, he was playing percussion, and we became the best of friends, and we started a band actually, and we had hopes and dreams of becoming something in the entertainment industry. After Robert H. Jameson, I went to St. Timothy's Catholic School. They didn't have a music program at St. Tim's, so I played basketball. So a whole year went by and I didn't play trumpet. And then if anyone knows about the trumpet, if you don't play it for a year, it's like you've never played it at all, because the trumpet is just an unforgiving instrument. When the year was 1971, I was on summer vacation at my sister Nellie's house in Louisville, Kentucky. And this was, I think, the first defining moment in my life where my mom called me and said, Johnny, you have to come home. I just enrolled you into Cathedral Latin High School. We knew about Cathedral Latin High School from my friend Jeffrey Wade, class of 74, who lived on my street. I knew he was going there. But I was so happy. I packed my bags from Louisville, came back to Cleveland, and went right in freshman class, and we went straight to band camp. in band camp, we had Brother Ritter and Brother Wilson was our teachers. And I was just starting to, learn how to play again, actually. And I would look at all the seniors in the, in the band, and they were blowing these high notes, big guys, and I was just so like, wow. After they graduated, our freshman class, we graduated to sophomore year. And I will never forget, I was in awe of two outstanding musicians in my class. The first is Ken Brown. Thank you, Ken, for coming today. Ken was a virtuoso, that's right. And we're talking about people that inspire you and want you to really get better at your craft. And I would look at Ken Brown and just like, man, how do you do this? And he's like, man, he played trombone and he played bass. I mean, we're talking really, city orchestra, amazing. And then, of course, there was Bob D'Alessandro. Bob D'Alessandro, wave your hand, Bob. I love you, man. Bob played this gold trumpet. I'll never forget this gold trumpet. And he always beat me out. He was always the first trumpet player. And I was the second trumpet player. And I'm like, man. Brother Ritter at Darby Hall, that was our music building. He ran a very tight ship. There, I was involved in stage band, marching band, concert band. We took private lessons. I think we had brass ensembles. But I felt myself really starting to grow with the discipline that Brother Ritter put on us, which I didn't really like Brother Ritter that much because he was too hard. He was too hard, but I thank God for Brother Ritter right now. So I had the great opportunity of going to France. I think it was junior year. Went to France, the southern part of France, and I got a chance to witness the greatest trumpet player in the world. His name is Maurice Andre. And when I saw him, I was really inspired to become great. Really inspired to become great. And back to Latin for my senior year, and I'm like, I'm gonna get Bob D'Alessandro now. I'm gonna get him on trumpet this year. I'm gonna get him. And so we had our auditions for orchestra and band. And then this freshman came in, Jim Palermo, and wiped both of us out. Jim Palermo was killing on the trumpet, so we got Jim Palermo's first trumpet, Bob D'Alessandro's second trumpet, and Johnny Britt the third trumpet. That's what it was. But those were the years. I learned so much at Cathedral Latin. It gave me the foundation for me to move on and do all the things that I've accomplished in the world. After Cathedral Latin, I did 1 year at Cleveland State. And then I had the great privilege to study at the Conservatoire de Versailles in Paris, right outside of Paris, France. I had that opportunity from my sister Edna Gallix and my brother-in-law Remy Gallix, who actually lived in Paris. So my first year of studies, I had a place to stay, and it was just wonderful. I was able to get the French language under my belt. Thank you, Madame Rikoff from Cathedral Latin. She was my French teacher at Latin. And get the culture, the language. I met the greatest scholars in France. That's where I really started to really grow. Traveled throughout Europe, getting the horn under my belt. I signed my first recording contract there in Paris, France. And it was just, the skies were unlimited for me. Upon returning back to the States, I went to Chicago. Got a full-time scholarship at Governor State University and kept excelling. From there, I was in the studio singing there. I started singing jingles. That's how I made money, singing jingles. And I was on the jazz scene, R&B scene. And like I told you before, that's where I met Mrs. Britt, Arlene Britt. One night I was playing in a club there, and she walked in the room, and that was it. And that was like it. That was it. And so happy about that. My second big break came when Otis Williams from the Temptations discovered me. He discovered me, and I became the youngest ever musical director for the Temptations. Arlene and I had just gotten married at the time, and we wanted to move to Los Angeles, to where the whole level of the music industry was very high. And we were blessed when I got that job to move to Los Angeles. From there, of course, that led me to become the co-music producer for the Temptations movie, the co-music producer for the Little Richard story, and it kind of goes on and on and on. I signed to Motown Records. But this has been just a dream of a lifetime for me. I remember at school in Latin, I really was dreaming a lot. I remember myself drawing pictures of myself in class with the crowds there and just imagining me, being somebody in the music industry. And dreams do come true. Dreams do come true. And I have to say that I really want to thank Brother Ritter. Brother Ritter was my first music teacher that really, he made us disciplined. I learned so much discipline from Brother Ritter. I also want to thank Mr. Redden. Mr. Redden was the only African American teacher that we had at Cathedral Latin. Mr. Redden started our fraternity called the Onyx Brothers. It was a small community of African Americans at the school there. And Mr. Redden taught, he instilled in us excellence, he instilled in us perseverance, and just the drive to concede. And I really want to thank Mr. Redden for that. I know a lot of our alums have passed on, but I want to take this time for some friends of mine from the Onyx Brothers that were dear to me, who are not here with us anymore. Class of 1975 is Mark Hammonds. Mark Hammonds was a star player on our basketball team, and he came to our wedding. He came to all of my shows with the Temptations, with my group Impromptu, Little Anthony, and he was always there. Just a person that's, rooting me on, really believed in me. He would call me Dr. Britt, Dr. Britt, Dr. Britt. So I want to remember him. Also, Clyde Davis, class of 1974. Again, these were, my pals in the fraternity. Clyde was always an encourager, and I would always try to make my brothers proud of me, especially the school cats, all of the fellas. And then, of course, there was Gary Jeter, our star football player from 1973. He was in the Onyx Brothers, and of course, I got mad inspiration from him because he was our All-American defensive end, right? I saw John Wooden come into Cathedral Latin to recruit him, and all the other schools from around the country followed his great career with the Los Angeles Rams and the New York Giants. And I just wanted to be great. These are people that really inspired me a great deal. And I just found out that another Onyx brother, class of 75, Tim Chapman, we just lost him this year. So I just wanted to give that recognition to them. But lastly, I just want to say that this award here is dedicated to my mother, Marie Britt Nadall. If it wasn't for her, I don't think I would be playing the trumpet. Because the story that I told you when I was in Louisville, Kentucky, I had no idea of playing the trumpet again. But she called and she says, "Boy, you gotta come back home. I'll just put you in the band in Cathedral Latin." And I never looked back once I hit Cathedral Latin. And all the playing that we were doing with Bob, with Jim, with everybody, with Ken, we were playing. And I saw myself getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And my desire was to do great things in the music industry. And I cannot thank you all enough for this recognition of my life and my career. And I just wanted to let you guys know that the best is yet to come. We're just getting started here. The new album is coming out in Valentine's Day, 2025. And I'm really excited about the album. I was telling Tom last night, I'm actually, for the first time, I'm singing in French, doing spoken word in French. and it's just an amazing album. So I'm so excited about that. And I also want to tell you guys about, we have a brand new worship album that's coming out October 18th. It'll be worldwide on Spotify everywhere. And I have the great pleasure of saying that I wrote this album with my lovely wife, Marie Britt, and myself. The album is called There Is Nobody. Make sure you check it out if you can. And thank you guys. And I want to also congratulate my man, Leo Hyden. Congratulations, brother. And I'm so honored to share this moment with you. Thank you so much. God bless.